Hello, folks. It's been a very long time, and I'm really sorry that it has taken this long. You know, um, for the last while, I have been going through some stuff, and I just didn't have the confidence to be on camera myself. Um, and I still wanted to make videos and stuff, so I just kept myself off camera. But recently, I have been back and I've been on the uh, Unearthly Wanderings podcast. We used to do podcasts once a week. Myself, Julie, and Brett. We'd have 3 podcasts a week, and hopefully we'll get back to this because last week was my first week sort of back, and it was very, very interesting. On those podcasts, we discuss a lot of things. We discuss a lot of things about the paranormal, not just the ghost hunting side of things, or spirits and ghosts. We look into these other possibilities, and some of those categories, it may be familiar to some and not familiar to others. And for me, some of these categories themselves are not familiar to me, but might be familiar to Brett. And we just sort of learn off each other, you know. But I want to say that you know I sometimes come across kind of very skeptical about a lot of things. And what I say on camera and what I say to you, sometimes it's just my opinion. People have other opinions, and that's the thing about the paranormal and stuff. Everybody has a different sort of perspective, a different sort of image of what the paranormal world is, because nobody exactly knows, So, my perspective of the paranormal may be different to yours. So, if I have an opinion and I express that opinion, that is just my opinion. That is all. I just wanted to say that because just in case people get upset, sometimes people do take things the wrong way, and we're not saying we're right or we're wrong or anything like that. We're just expressing an opinion. Well, I'm talking for myself. What we do is we express our opinions, and my opinions are very skeptical of a lot of things, especially when it comes to content on YouTube. I've seen enough content on YouTube, in the last couple of years to know that some of it is based around entertainment and following a trend, if you like. And I kind of noticed that a lot with a lot of ghost hunting channels and that. I'm not labeling ghost hunters as the culprits to all of sort of following the crowd kind of thing, but sometimes they do, and the percentage of good content is actually quite small in comparison to some of the led astray and entertaining stuff, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to tread carefully. My first sort of evening back on this channel, I'm trying to tread carefully and not do an Ethan Klein, and put my foot in it. But I did put my foot in it during the week, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to sort of come on camera and explain and apologize at the same time, rather than just write a message and stuff like that. So basically what happened was, during the week, somebody that follows my channels that is into ITC regularly goes to the cemetery that is close by their house, and I noticed a lot of very short clips and very short sessions in this cemetery, you know. And I asked a question in a comment on the last video that this person had done, and I says, you know, I have a serious question to ask you here. I said, do you go to the cemetery every day, to do sessions and that? And well, the person kind of put two and two together, and basically asked, are you implying something, you know, and was very upset about the way that I came across. Now, when you're writing comments, you can't put your feelings across, and you know, that's the thing about the written word. It can come across kind of nasty if even though it isn't, you know. And maybe I should have been straight. You know, the point I was sort of making is, can I ask you a question? Do you feel the need that you need to go to a cemetery every time you do an ITC session? That's basically what I was asking, but I tried to pussyfoot around it without trying to be completely direct, and I kind of made a mess of it. You know, and I did apologize, and I do apologize by the way I came across. I was not criticizing them, but was going to make the point that you do know that you don't have to be in a cemetery to do ITC sessions. You see, this question I asked it was triggered by a comment to this person that had made to my channel about why don't you go to some holy ground or unholy ground or something like that. When I went back to comment on the video, the comment disappeared. I don't know where it went. So, you know, that sparked me to make this comment. You know, to sort of explain that you do not have to be in a cemetery to do ITC. You know, and this led me to question a lot of things. Why do people go to certain places? Do they believe that they will get activity or get contact in a certain place? Do they really believe it themselves? Or are they following somebody else? Because there is a lot of following the sheep going on in the paranormal in regards to the way we make contact. You know, like calling out the spirits, calling out the demons and all that kind of stuff. You know, and in a way we you know, what communicates with us, yes, there may be spirits, but I made this comment in some of my sessions. I wouldn't go into the supermarket and, you know, say hello to somebody and say, you know, hello fellow human being. I just wouldn't label them like that. So, you know, I kind of questioned, why are we calling them spirits? Maybe they don't want to be called spirits. I don't know. So, you know, this is it's kind of thinking outside the box. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. Do you know? It's just, that's what's been going through my mind lately. You know, so many people, you know, they're doing ITC sessions, and is there any spirits here? Or is there any dead people here? you know, and I cringe when I used to ask, "Are you dead or living?" You know, yes, we need to get need to try and get these fundamental answers and that, but I don't believe in going into it like a bull in a china shop sort of thing. And yeah, I can look back on my past sessions, my past investigations, and I cringe at them too, because I was there too, you know. But you see, lately in my the sessions I'm doing now, I never, say the word spirits or anything like that, because I want to try and keep assumption aside, and I want to try and keep an opinion aside, just in case it's not fully my opinion, if you know what I mean. And keep a belief aside. Belief isn't truth. Yes, there's a lot of people in the paranormal that are sort of faith based, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're into the research side of it, blind faith just isn't enough. Speaking of sessions, this is a radio that I recently got from United States, and I modified it myself. I put a little antenna on there, and I have a switch there to turn off the speaker. Yes, turn off the internal speaker so I can put a line out, and on the other side I have put a line out, and then another switch which actually is connected to the hack itself. This is a wire hack. So when I cut the wire, I added a switch to that gap where I cut the wire, which means that instead of having just a spirit box, it still is a radio. So you flick the switch, what the wire you cut, you've joined again with that switch, so you can still use it as a radio. I have a number of different time mixes, and this one seemed to give me great results in the last 2 weeks. I mean, like some of the responses that I got. Now, I recently started doing every so often, every 10 minutes or so, I'd say I'd have to do a communications check. Can you say hi, Sam, if you can hear me right now? And over, I've been getting hi, Sam, and getting my name being mentioned and stuff. And there've been two names that have come up recently called Ethan and Aaron. And if it was radio broadcast, I'd be expecting those names to be in a certain time slot. But I recently started going from doing sessions in the morning to sessions in the evening. And I've been still doing the odd one in the morning, and sometimes I didn't sleep very well, and I do one in the middle of the night, and those two names still keep coming up, along with Ed, which has been going on for months and months. Well, it's been over a year now, constantly getting Ed and stuff like that. But some of the stuff that's been coming out lately on that particular radio, the Timex T 307S, it's just mind blowing, really. Unfortunately, there was one session where it was 10 minutes of swearing, and I noticed that I didn't plug in my microphone, and there was absolutely no audio whatsoever, and I was really disappointed. I mean, like, we're talking about full-on swear words and homophobic slurs, which would get a broadcaster fired on the spot. And this wasn't that late at night either, like. So, there's always a mystery inside your head. You're always wondering, who are these communicators? And we keep asking, those fundamental questions. We're not getting fundamental answers, but, you turn on the radio and you say, well, if there's anybody about, can you say hi, Sam, and that? And hi, Sam. And I'm going, it never gets old. And it proves that there is something out there that's communicating. Now, there could be spirits, I don't know, sometimes they say that there's spirits and ghosts and stuff. But are we to take the information that we're actually getting as concrete, solid concrete proof? Is the information that they're giving to us the right information? After all, we don't know who they are and we can't see them, even though they say they can see us. There was one occasion where I asked, can you see me? And they said, I see you. I see you. And I said, right, if you can see me, what's sitting on the chair beside me? And I cut this into a small clip. It's on this main channel. And they went, dog. And I just turned the camera and the dog's asleep on the chair beside me. And that, it never gets old, But the last 2 weeks have been a lot of surprises with that particular radio, So the mystery continues, kind of thing, and it just made me want to do more and more and more sessions. But the last 2 weeks, it's been unhealthy. It's been, session after session after session, and what I need to do is I need to focus on other things as well, you're getting that information, you're grinding for more on that. But if you're continuing to do these sessions at this pace, you won't get anything else done. So I need to pace myself a little bit. To the end of the month, there's a session every day. But after that, it'll be every couple of days. But when the sessions do come out, they will be longer and more detailed. There is. I've been messing around with the editing software and putting up some of the data along with the Spirit Box session. Recording the audio through some of these spectrogram apps and stuff like that, and frequency counters and stuff like that. And I'm only at the beginning of all this nerdy stuff, but I just thought I'd put that stuff up on the screen, and when I understand them fully, I can look into that data, and those little pictures that come up that are separate on the video, they're separately recorded audio of the Spirit Box session. So in those particular sessions, you've got 3 or 4 recordings of the same session, but using different applications to collect data. So they all go into a folder, and there's 3 or 4 files of recorded audio on each of those sessions where I've used different frequency counters and spectrograms and stuff like that, But I just thought I would sort of make it a little bit interesting, rather than just looking at the Spirit Box and looking at the scan. I can't do it all the time because actually those sessions, they take about a day to do, and it's only about 15 or 20 people at the moment looking at them. I don't know, with ITC, it's a specialized niche, if you know what I mean. But you've got 15 or 20 people that are fully interested in what you're doing and following what you're doing. the object of the exercise is to get contact. You know, the the bonus of it is you can show other people. You know. Right. What else is there? Oh yes. During the winter, actually, it's a number of months now. Uh, KJ Hauntings invited us to a haunted theatre in the city of Derry, and we really enjoyed the investigation and that. And it has taken me a long time to sort of get this all the files put together and put it out on YouTube, because towards the end of our investigation, both our cameras went bye bye. The battery just went completely dead. You know, there was, as far as we were concerned, there was still life left in the battery. In fact, one of the batteries still had an hour on it, and then all of a sudden it was gone. So they sort of broke down within 10 minutes of each other, and it was at a sort of a crucial time during the investigation and that. So I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to finish this. Now, in the meantime, I did put together files and sort of compiled everything, and sort of ready to go out. But it will be out soon, hopefully. Also, we have also been invited to Cumber House again, and both myself and Rachel are sort of looking forward to that. We are sort of confused a little bit, because we're sort of wondering how are we going to approach this, because we got a sort of a different kind of a mindset now. We want to do things differently than. Let me just say that when you look at the TV shows, the paranormal TV shows, a lot of people copy the paranormal TV shows, and it's been like a script for years and that, and I've worked off it myself, sort of thing, following everybody else, what way they do things, stuff like that. And I says, right, I want to go into an investigation as if I'd never seen a TV show ever, or an investigation. What would you do? So we're going to try and approach this in a kind of a different kind of a way. So we're not going to be bringing lugging a huge amount of equipment, because the last number of times that we arrived at Cumber House with cases and cases of equipment, we didn't use half of it. We didn't use quarter of it, and I still had to lug them up the stairs when I got home. So we're going to try and approach this in a different sort of way. So we're trying to figure that one out. I have to apologise to the car fans. I actually have a lot of subscribers subscribe to me because of my coverage of the Donegal International Rally, and it happened last weekend. And my car is not working at the moment. It's got 2 leaking brake lines, and I wasn't going to chance it, so I'm afraid it's out for this year. But I'm going to try and get to some of these classic car shows, possibly during the summer and stuff like that. So, hopefully that will please the car fans and that. And there's other people that subscribed to the channel because of interesting places. And because I haven't been out, I haven't been filming outside and stuff like that. I will try and get back into it. I don't want to waste this summer. I really don't. So I'm giving myself a big kick in the backside, and to get back out there and show you Donegal. We've actually been in parts of Donegal that I haven't been in since I was a child, and it's beautiful. And the reason why I didn't film it is because I was with a friend, and I was taking me time. Everywhere we go. You know, there was a time where, you know, you go to a place, oh, I could film this for YouTube and that. I've set myself sort of limits, you know, when I want personal time, I'm going to take it because you need to and that. But I will get out to some of those places and show you because some people, in fact, most of the support that I'm actually getting is non-paranormal content for some reason. You know, I've done reviews on equipment and radios. I've done a review. It's gone to 5,000 views. Or a review on my last car that I had, which was a Renault Megane convertible, and that hit over 5,000 and stuff like that. And just some of these. I was just looking the other day. Some of these places where I went to, I filmed around a thatched cottage for 10 minutes. I didn't get into the thatched cottage. It's a traditional Irish thatched cottage. This was way back, you know, when I was, you know, throwing, you know, way back in the beginning where I was throwing everything at the wall, hoping that something would stick. And I filmed around this thatched cottage for 10 minutes, and I got, is it 7 to 10 or something like that, or 15,000 views? It's about 7,000 views. There was a lot of views anyway. This video took off, and all I was doing was actually looking around for 10 minutes, and you know, we got into the little sheds and outbuildings and stuff, and that 10-minute video, you know, just took off. And then there was another one where I went into a church, and I panned the camera around, and I added some music, and that took off as well. So, you know, there's a lot of support for interesting places and stuff like that. Going to try and get out and about. Can't sit in here forever, you know. Folks, I'm going to go, because if I leave this video too long, it won't get out, and sort of won't get out till tomorrow and that. So, you know, but we're hoping to get the podcast back up and running. I have interesting guests. I've one interesting guest lined up at the moment that I'm hoping to get on and talk to, and I just like talking to people, you know. But anyway, I'm going to leave it for now, folks. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.